Hi and welcome to our devlog on Catgirls and Ketamine. It's a funny game about a funny thing, where you use funny guns to shoot funny furries. And this is the first day of our roguelike game, Catgirls and Ketamines. I'm Sarkskel. Welcome to the channel.
Screw gravity!
Now, with that terrible meme out of the way, let's explain what we just saw. So I had to start with actually making a movement system in the game, and that meant that I was following the tutorial by Gavage that you can see there on the screen, flashing every now and then. And I forgot to add the gravity, so there wasn't any. Now, everything else worked, of course, because, well, it always does. But the reason it's so floaty and quick is that it's meant to be a mobility shooter. You know, kind of like Doom or more recently Ultrakill. So sit back and relax and watch as I struggle to make a simple map and the rest of this movement system. Ho! A big part of the game is being able to switch weapons. You can see in games like Ultrakill or Doom that you're constantly switching weapons. In Doom, it's your ammo running out or low, and you have to switch a weapon so that you don't run out completely, leaving yourself defenseless. Well, in Ultrakill, you earn points by using different weapons. In my game, I want it as a mixture of, well, not really a mixture of both, but if you want to continue to use your favorite weapon, you might not have enough ammo to continue to use it, so you're going to have to use your secondary or your melee. So in this next set of clips, in fact, we might even still be starting them, you can actually see me making the new system. It's very flexible and better than anything you've ever seen for a tutorial. We start with the hand, which has the locked location of where all the weapons will be. Then we create more points within that called primary, secondary, and melee. Melee for, well, melee, secondary for your secondaries, and primary for your primary. This is pretty obvious, obviously. So, the way it works is that it fetches the child using a list instead of actually going for a specific node. Therefore, I can make whatever I want the child of the slot. You want a super massive sword for your primary? You can pick that up. And because the scripts are independent, then that means I can make it whatever I want. I can export the slot, which you can see later. But you've heard enough of my voice. Enjoy the time lapse with a nice musical piece.
kitchen gun?
Hit scanning is perfect for this scenario because it's quick and easy, not just for me but also the player. You instinctually just aim at the enemy and bang, it's dead. And also it means that the range is a lot higher and you don't have to lead your shots that much, making the gameplay much simpler. The ammunition is also a very valuable resource, and by making players consume it whenever they fire their gun, they either have to aim really good or they're going to have to start using a larger variety of weapons, picking up new ones or using their melee more often, making the game more strategic. You can see here that we're actually starting to try and code the enemy. Now they're quite dumb, as they have suffered brain damage from the malformation of their skull. This is perfectly normal, trust me. No hate towards actual furries. Now, the way that the pathing works is that it creates a grid on the mesh that the world is created in it, and then it creates a shortest path between the enemy and the player. We also have to make the enemy look at the players so that they actually hit them, but like that's besides the point. Hopefully the collision works and we don't accidentally no clip. That would be really, really bad. I think after that experience, we both need to relax. So how about you enjoy this time lapse? In order to keep the game interesting and fast-paced, we have to actually make sure that the enemy can catch the player, which means that the enemy is the same speed as the player. Wrong movement, they catch up, and they begin to swarm. The idea is that the player has to be constantly moving in order to not get ganked. Now, they also will have to eventually deal with ranged enemies, so they have to dodge projectiles as well as the swarm. Now, it's kind of weird having the enemy not face the player or where it's going, so we had to make it look at the player using the look at function in Godot. However, with the enemies being the same speed as the player has to have some way to get out of sticky situations. And since they can't outrun the enemies, they have to outmaneuver them in some way. So we added a dash. The dash will consume a valuable resource, stamina. In order to use their special abilities like a grapple hook or grenade or any of their gadgets, they're going to have to consume stamina. If they want to dash, they need stamina. That way they can't overuse these things, but since it regenerates, they don't have a limited supply. Now I'm a big dumb sneaky idiot and I forgot how speed works. I could have added the dash speed to the actual speed. I could have set the speed to a higher speed. But no, I had to do this convoluted variable thing. Remember, the simplest solution is always the best. But I forgot that. So how about we just shut up and enjoy the rest of the process. By we, I mean me. A very important part of this game is that you've got to be able to pick up new weapons. A player could get bored of their automatic and want a shotgun, or want a new sidearm, or a new melee weapon. No matter what it is, you gotta get a new one. Or, of course, the player will spawn without weapons and will have to pick them up. Unlike a battle royale like your Fortnites and PUBGs, this is going to be more of a roguelike. You start off with nothing, you find your first weapon, and you keep going down into the dungeon. This would be similar to a game like Enter the Gungeon or Binding of Isaac, which both played a huge inspiration to this, along with Doom and Ultrakill. It's weird, but I hope it works, and I'm glad that you guys are going to be joining me on this journey. And who knows, maybe it'll be the best game ever made. I highly doubt it, but that would be really funny. And as we all know, funny is most important. In order to make the weapon swapping system very smooth, we have to make things generic. 1s, 2s, 3s, and variables. We can't use specific names, and so you can see throughout the script, I don't know if you can see it right now, but variables of our types is 1, 2, and 3 for primary, secondary, and melee. And whenever referenced in our code, it's like primary or secondary or drop or pick up. And although you can't see that now because that's later and I've already run way too long, it's very important. So, if you want to make a game like this, you're going to have to make the slots, and then you're going to have to reference them using the getChild instead of getNode, because getChild can reference anything as long as it's in a certain list. So primary getChild 0 is going to be the primary weapon, as long as there's a weapon in there. So in order to prevent the game from having a strong, I later add fists. But I've talked way too much in the video, so I hoped you enjoyed, and I hope to see you again, maybe. Only if you enjoyed, though. Bye. I hope you have a great day.